seat. Hi. Hello, Marilyn.
when you walk through the garden, you gotta watch your back. I beg your pardon, walk the straight and narrow track. If you walk with Jesus, he's gonna save your soul. You gotta keep the devil way down in the hole. He's got the fire and the fury at his command. You don't have to worry, hold on to Jesus' hand. We'll all be safe from Satan when the thunder rolls. Gotta keep the devil way down in the hole. All the angels sing about Jesus' mighty sword, and they'll shield you with their wings and keep you close to the Lord. Don't pay no heed to temptation, his hands are so cold. Gotta keep the devil way down in the hole. So when you walk through the garden, you gotta watch your back. I beg your pardon, walk the straight and narrow track. If you walk with Jesus, he's gonna save your soul. Gotta keep the devil way down in the hole.
Good morning. Buenos dias. Good morning. Welcome to the First Unitarian Universalist Church of San Antonio. Our weekly worship is where we connect, share information, and inspiration. My name is Scott Emerson-Price. I've been a member since 2017, and I currently serve on the Leadership Development Committee, where we seek to know our church's needs and connect with people that may be able to fill those needs. Let's acknowledge this geographic place where we currently are located, Yanawana, the home and traditional lands of the Teotihuacan, the original and indigenous stewards of this land we now call San Antonio, Bexar County, Texas. At our church, we strive to enact a universal love that binds us in mutual care and affection, especially in our work towards justice for all and the environment. Our faith is all-inclusive, and all means all. If you are new to us or are visiting for the first time today, we encourage you to fill out an information card, and we'd like to get to know you and follow up with you. Wherever you are in your life's journeys, we hope you will find your place here.
Thank you, Scott. Rock and roll, huh? It's always great to have Steve and Don with us. They lighten us up and bring us a lot of joy with the music. It's good to see y'all. Today, we welcome Don Hymel to our pulpit. And you may know Don as the partner of Steve with Steve and Don Music, and now we get to get him up here and hear what he has to say to us with his words. During Don's lengthy membership here at First UU San Antonio, he's written and delivered about probably a half dozen sermons, and many of you, I see a few heads nodding. You're remembering these. They range in relationship from how to view music, both popular and holy, to the joys of aging. Don's wife, Mary Lou, will also have a part in today's service, and so I welcome them up here, and I welcome you all to Eres Bienvenido Aquí. It's time to welcome one another, so I invite you to get up and move around and pass the peace to one another, connect with a neighbor, someone you know, someone you don't know. We all belong here. Yeah. The man who needs no introduction.
Thank you for the warm welcome.
You're welcome. Thank you. So I'll introduce the opening hymn. Okay. Yeah. And then you'll do the chalice. Special group. Yeah. Thank you. Greetings. Greetings.
2 hugs in one.
So you'll lead us in the opening hymn. I'll introduce it. For all that is our life. Yeah.
Okay.
I often wonder what would happen if you never rang the bell and they would just talk for like 45 minutes.
Yes, they would.
I used to sing in the choir at the Oakland Cathedral when I was in divinity school in California, and they brought out like a mariachi band. I mean, there'd be 2,000 people at the service, and we would do this passing of the peace thing, and it would go on for 20 minutes. People are moving everywhere, you know. That's kind of cool. It's a nice thing when you maybe don't have a 30-minute sermon. We can take the time to do this.
It's all good for your soul. I mean, look at that.
Yeah. Good.
That's what you used to do.
That's what we do.
Yeah.
We talk a lot.
Yeah. Y'all do that greeting thing very well. I wonder what would happen if I just never rang the bell and we would see. We need some music. Maybe we could start dancing and moving. And speaking of that, I want you to take out your gray hymnals and turn to 128. We're going to rise in body or spirit and sing For All That Is Our Life. Please. For all that is our life, we give our thanks and praise for all that we can do to build the common good and make our own day glad. For needs which others serve, for praises we give for work and its rewards, for hours of rest and love. We come with praise and thanks for all that is our life. For sorrow we must bear, for failures, pain, and loss, for each new thing we learn, for fearful hours that pass, we come with praise and thanks for all that is our life. For all that is our life, we sing our thanks and praise, for all life is a gift which we are called to use to build the common good and make our own days glad. Thank you, Susan. Thank you, everyone, for singing out. Scott.
Our members in worship and symbolizes the spirit of our faith. Today's words are from Bill Scholes. Come into this place of peace and let its silence heal your spirit. Come into this place of memory and let its history warm your soul. Come into this place of prophecy and power and let its vision change your heart.
We are called as Unitarian Universalists to build the beloved community where all are welcome as blessings. Let us recite our covenant, which articulates our promises and binds us together. Please read together. Love is the doctrine of this church. The quest of truth is its sacrament, and service is its prayer. To dwell together in peace, to seek knowledge in freedom, to serve humanity in fellowship, to the end that all souls shall grow in harmony with the divine. Thus do we covenant with each other. And in Español, el amor es la doctrina de esta iglesia. Su sacramento es la búsqueda de la verdad, y su oración es el servicio, convivir en paz, buscar sabiduría en libertad, dar a la humanidad nuestro servicio fraternal, para que todas las almas crezcan en armonía con la divinidad. Así pactamos el uno con el otro. Bueno, thank you. It's time to share our joys and sorrows. I invite us to enter into our hearts and minds in a very intentional way, remembering that ours is a diverse community of connection, a welcoming congregation. And today I invite us to think of each other more deeply, to see each other more clearly, and to grow closer to each other. Our connection to and trust of one another is how we build caring connections and the beloved community. I invite us to come forward up the side aisles and light candles and savor this moment of remembrance while Susan plays our meditation music. thank you all for participating. Such a robust time of the lighting of the candles of joys and sorrows. Our book of joys and sorrows says that for today, we celebrate the web of life, and all of us interdependently in relationship. We feel sorrow for the miscommunications and ideologies that minimize the concern many have for our planet and the community of beings living on it. May we take a stand for environmental justice, and especially for our marginalized communities who dwell on the earth, in the waters, in the atmosphere, as well as all the plants and animals and insects and people and all who call Mother Earth their home. Lots of joy, lots of concern, substantial sorrow there. And for all of these, may we feel empathy and compassion and follow our feelings to do something about it. That is to care for one another, for our planet, for all the beings by offering deep kindness, love, and just action. Today, Mary Lou is going to grace our pulpit with a poem. Let us have it, Mary Lou.
Thank you, Mark. Today's reading is called "Oh Hell" by James Whitcomb Riley. Oh hell, just what is meant by this word hell? They say sometimes it's cold as hell. Sometimes they say it's hot as hell. When it rains, they say it's hell, they cry, and it's hell when it's dry. They hate like hell to see it snow. It's a hell of a wind when it starts to blow. Now, how in the world can anyone tell what in the hell they mean by this word hell? This mad life is hell, they say. When he comes in late, there's hell to pay. When she starts to yell, it's a hell of a note. And it's hell when the kids you have to tote. It's hell when the doctor sends you his bills for a hell of a lot of trips and pills. And when you get this, you will know real well just what is meant by this word, hell. Hell yes, hell no, and oh hell too. The hell you don't, and the hell you do. And what hell of a hell it is, the hell with yours and the hell with his. Now where in the hell and oh hell where? And what the hell do you think I care? But the hell of it is, it's sure as hell that we don't know what in the hell is hell.
Such literary special literary reading. Now, our children are welcome to remain in the sanctuary with their families, or you may decide to leave and go out to the playground. It's your choice. I see you moving. You are empowered by us. Go, go, go. Let's sing them out. Go now in peace. Go now in peace. May the power of love surround you everywhere, everywhere you Beyonce and pause, Beyonce and pause. Hail tus feliculos rodi en todas partes, donde quieran ir. Good job. It's time for our invitation to generosity. Today's offering is for the programs and ministries of our church. And for those of you viewing online, I invite you to donate on the website to the link in the chat stream. And for those of us here in the sanctuary, let's contribute as the baskets are passed by. Would the ushers please come forward?
Whoa, 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 yeah, yeah, yeah. Hey, little devil. Whoa, 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 yeah, yeah, yeah. Hey, little devil. Hey, little devil, you're always running around. It's time that someone started bringing you down. There'll be some changes made. Your roving days are through. Hey, little devil, I'm gonna make an angel out of you. Hey, little devil, you've got the all in the world. You're a cute little devil, and I'm gonna make you my girl. You're out to break my heart just before you do. Hey, little devil, I'm gonna make an angel out of you. They say beware, but I don't care. I love you just the same. You're an old heartbreaker and a mischief maker, and I'm wise to your name. Whoa, 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 hey, little devil, everything is gonna be fine. 'Cause someday soon I'm gonna make you all mine. There'll be no running around. You met your Waterloo. Hey, little devil, I'm gonna make an angel out of you. They say beware, but I don't care. I love you just the same. You're an old heartbreaker and a mischief maker, but I'm wise to your name. Whoa, 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 hey, little devil, everything is gonna be fine. 'Cause someday soon I'm gonna make you all mine. There'll be no running around. You met your Waterloo. Hey, little devil, I'm gonna make an angel out of you. Whoa, 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 yeah, yeah, yeah. Hey, little devil. Whoa, 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 yeah, yeah, yeah. Hey, little devil.
We bless these offerings we have received. May our blessings be multiplied through our sharing of them. May it be so.
Well, hi there. What the hell? There's a question for you. What is hell? How did it come about? Why do we still talk about it today? And how did it find itself in a Unitarian Universalist worship service, for goodness sakes? And really, is it, still a thing? Okay, that was more than one question, but who's counting? One thing we do know for certain is that hell cannot exist without heaven also existing, which of course means that heaven has no point existing without hell. And that's why I'm up here on this midsummer morning to talk about a place reputed to be even warmer than it is this morning. It turns out that there are relatively few branches of organized religion that depend on an afterlife at all. It's very big in Christianity, of course, and I'll have a bunch to say about how it has been used in both religious and secular activities as a way to control huge masses of Christian society. Now, since Christianity is an offshoot of Judaism, it's worth taking a look at that also. Turns out, there's not a lot of clarity of a Jewish hell. There is a reference in Hebrew to Sheol, a place where the spirits of the dead reside. There's also Gehenna, which refers to a valley in which Christians were sacrificed to the gods, children were sacrificed to the god Molech. Naughty children, I'm sure. One of the latter uses of the valley was a place to send sinners. In more modern Judaism, hell is a place of punishment for non-believers. However bad the punishment might be, it lasted no more than a year, sort of like my tour in Adak, Alaska, although not nearly so cold. Of course, any religion which is based on endless discussion, analysis, reason, and debate will not be satisfied with a single, precise definition. As it turns out, there was not really any clear or generally accepted notion of the afterlife in Judaism after all. Hell or heaven. Over time, there developed the idea that the righteous dead would rise when the Messiah returned. We Christians recognized that our Messiah had already returned, so what we waited for was the second coming. Islam, which is built upon the Hebrew Pentateuch, has a more visceral and vivid version of hell. The Quran discusses heaven and hell as a package, and either you do this or this happens package. Hell is often described as an evil resting place where sinners are enveloped in a never-ending blanket of fire. Those who attempt to escape are doomed to taste the torment of conflagration. Contrast this with Muslim paradise, a place for those who have trod the straight path as laid out in the Quran. Heaven is a garden where the faithful spend eternity among wonderful food, music, clothing, and a pure elixir from Allah's own source as a reward for their striving and patience. Somewhere along the line, my research shows, I did research this, somewhere along the line, hell became synonymous with Hades. Now, Hades is actually the name of the Greek lord of the dead and ruler of the netherworld. But the Greek name became so associated with the Christian place that the two merged. So Hades is also the place the dead go. Hades rules this world with Persephone and other folks that really aren't relative to the conversation, but whose names are fun to say out loud. Thanatos, Hypnos, Chiron, and Cerberus. I feel better already. Hades represents the place of eternal punishment for evildoers, where the sinners are put on horrifyingly display. There was Tantalus, who was perpetually thirsty and hungry, but unable to eat the fruit just above his head or drink the water at his feet. And Sisyphus, the patron saint of office workers. I see you know about Sisyphus. Sisyphus was forced to push a rock up a hill only to have it roll back again each day for eternity. Now, Christian hells are best described as a combination of the Hebrew Gehenna and the Greek Hades, kind of a burning punishment that lasts forever. In fact, the Greek word for hell in the New Testament is often Hades. The book of Revelation describes a lake of fire as the final repository of those who are not written into the book of life. And then there's Christian heaven, the New Jerusalem. There's a lot of singing and rejoicing in a new heaven and earth. It also reflects Christianity's roots in Judaism because this new heaven contains a city called New Jerusalem. According to the book of Revelation, New Jerusalem has 12 gates, 12 foundations, and a mass of 1,400 square miles, plus a 200-foot wall. The water of life flows from God's throne, and for believers, all pain, tears, and death will disappear forever. Much of the substance of Jewish, Christian, and Muslim afterlife comes from Persian Zoroastrianism. Although there's not a lot of heaven and hell in other major world religions, Buddhism, Hinduism, other Eastern religions don't deal with it at all. And then there's the UUs. Well, there's this group on Facebook called the Unitarian Universalist Hysterical Society Coffee Hour, which I am pleased to draw your attention to. A recent contributor said her 8-year-old daughter asked her, "Since Satan punished sinners, does that make him a good guy?" I'm not sure what a UU heaven would look like, but I'd guess UU hell would be a topic of discussion in which there existed only one viewpoint. Now, there is a singular reason, I believe, for the emphasis on the either paradise or fire duality in Islam and Christianity, and that's social control. Both religions became an arm of various leaders, and governments and religions grew as fast as those religions and governments spread. It was sort of like those ice skating pairs that pull each other along faster and faster. Their power and influence depended upon each other, as did the growth of their combined strength. Most of this discussion, of the rest of it, will deal with Christian heaven and hell. But first, some quotations. "Heaven is a carrot used by the wealthy to keep us working hard for little money." Karl Marx. "Hell is other people." Jean Paul Sartre. "Ooh, heaven is a place on earth." Belinda Carlisle. I'm drying out here. One thing is for certain, in Christianity's early years, there was inequality all over the stairway to heaven. The earliest Christian religion was a haven for those on the extreme margins of society. The underground church in Rome welcomed prostitutes, gamblers, homosexuals, and even actors. What heaven looked like or felt like at this point was still kind of unclear, but for those whom proper folk had rejected, there would be a reward in the afterlife. As time went on and Christianity grew in influence, a series of warlords came looking for some stability and obedience from their captured Christian peoples. The Christian church became a haven for them. In the poorer communities where Christian message was usually comforting, invaders discovered the church to be a willing supplicant to military power. The church would bless the invader as the true and proper leader, and the people followed the leader as they did the church, regardless of whatever despoil came their way. The church also developed the world's first get-out-of-jail-free card in the form of extreme unction. Basically, the warlord of the day was informed that as long as his last act on earth was his confession, his lifetime of violent sins would be washed away, and he'd spend eternity in heaven, whether or not he believed in the Christian God at all. And as time went on, this became a handy tool for Christians who became wealthy, often through the slavery of other Christians. And speaking of slavery, European settlements of our portion of the New World brought with it enslavement of indigenous peoples on the one hand and the Word of God on the other. Without the unifying culture of Christianity, it's doubtful that the subjugation of indigenous peoples or the enslavement and mass kidnapping of African peoples would have been possible in what became the United States. Certainly, heaven the heaven-hell continuum made it possible for Spaniards to dominate Native American tribes. Once there was even an ounce of native toleration of the Catholic priests who accompanied the conquistadors, slavery was inevitable. Didn't happen here first, of course. Christianity and slavery were married as soon as the first powerful chieftain pretended to convert. The priests of the early church were looking hard for powerful allies, and the warlords needed slaves. So, the priests not only supported enslavement of the very classes of people who became the first Christians, they also worked out a compromise which allowed the powerful to violate all the commandments constantly. Sinning was allowed up to the moment just before death, when the powerful person would confess and get a straight ticket to heaven. Meanwhile, the slaves, the oppressed soldiers, the prisoners, and the innocent bystanders got nothing in the way of official supplication. Live an honorable life and you will have your reward in heaven translates quite nicely as, if you work hard and don't complain, you'll be treated better in heaven. Or put another way, if you want to have any chance at heaven, don't kill your master. The Spaniards excelled at this. Not only did they keep their conquered slaves relatively docile, they even got them to do most of the work necessary to create the missions that guaranteed their eventual liquidation. Now, throughout history, the wealthy and the powerful have used Christianity to quell dissent. Be happy with what you have, your reward is in heaven. There was a reason why kings and emperors in the Christian Europe, the titles of them often began by the grace of God. God wanted them to be exalted and wanted the poor to subjugate themselves to powerless poverty and to be pleased about it. There were backlashes, of course, most notably the French Revolution, in which titled nobles often met clergy of equal rank while heading to the guillotine. But this was a historical aberration, especially in countries where there is and was a vast divide between rich and poor, powerful and powerless, strong and weak. Face it, heaven and hell are two sides of the same coin. One cannot exist without the other, and their historical and modern function is purely social control. Today, Christianity finds its most devout adherents among the poorest of peoples in the poorest of countries, especially those who continually suffer deprivation, disease, and war. Today's church reinforces its earliest teachings. Accept your lot in life, work hard, don't get ambitious, and you'll find a decent, loving existence after your life is over. If you become a striker, a dissident, a protester, a revolutionary, in opposition of the oppression you suffer from, you'll pay for lifting your eyes towards the heaven with eternal torment in hell. It was and is simple. If you accept your oppression and mistreatment, believing there will be a reward for you in the afterlife, you will remain passive. The corollary is that if you rise up and kill your oppressors, you'll spend eternity in a fiery pit. So, it's basically a conflict between maintaining your humanity or suffering your entire lives in hope you'll go to the good place. Me? I grew up going to a Seventh-day Adventist church, a gentle fundamentalist religion. As a child, heaven and hell were very real to me. I remember when a B-47 bomber crashed not far from my home in El Paso. It wasn't actually very near us, but it lumbered low and low over our house on its way to doom. When everyone else in the family jumped up, exclaiming variations of, "What was that?" I, the youngest, called out, "It's a sign of Jesus coming." Adventists believe that it's just a matter of minutes before Jesus comes back. So, I also remember crying for hours after discovering in church that a lifetime of smoking, drinking, and swearing guaranteed you a nonstop ticket to the other place. When I was asked what was upsetting to me, I said something like, "I don't want to go to heaven without Daddy." So, how do I feel about heaven and hell now? Well, it doesn't bother me too much. John Lee Hooker, one of my favorite blues heroes, summed up my feeling nicely. Ain't no heaven, ain't no burning hell. When I die, where I go, nobody know. Yeah, that works for me. But I'd like to close with this from Sri Chinmoy. Both heaven and hell begin in the mind. The moment we think something's good, the moment we pray and meditate and try to offer the inner light that we have gained from our meditation and prayers, we begin to live in heaven. The moment we think evil of someone, criticize someone, and cherish wrong thoughts about someone, then we enter into hell. Heaven we create. Hell we create. With our divine thoughts we create heaven, and with our wrong, silly, undivine thoughts, we create hell within us. And finally, this quote from Irish comedian Dave Allen. He, during the Troubles in Ireland in the 60s and 70s, he managed to tell jokes to both Protestants and Catholics audiences and not get hurt. He would end every one of his routines with this quote. Thanks very much for your kind attention. Good afternoon, and may your God go with you. And yes, I have even more to say. I hope there's some John Prine fans out there. If you're not familiar, thank you. This is a holy place. If you're not familiar with him, check him out on Facebook. This song is called When I Get to Heaven. When I get to heaven, I'm going to shake God's hand. Thank him for more blessings than one man can stand. Then I'm going to get a guitar and start a rock and roll band. Check into a swell hotel. Ain't the good afterlife grand? And then I'm going to get a cocktail, vodka and ginger ale. Smoke a cigarette that's 9 miles long. Gonna kiss that pretty girl on the tilt-a-whirl. 'Cause this old man is going to town. Then as God is my witness, I'm getting back into show business. Gonna open up a nightclub called the Tree of Forgiveness. I'm gonna forgive everybody ever done me any harm. Why, I might even invite a few choice critics, those syphilitic parasites. Buy 'em a pint of Smittix and smother 'em with my charm. And then I'm gonna get a cocktail, vodka and ginger ale. Make a cigarette that's 9 miles long. Gonna kiss that pretty girl on the tilt-a-whirl. 'Cause this old man is going to town. Yeah, when I get to heaven, I'm gonna take that wristwatch off my arm. What you gonna do with time after you bought the farm? Then I'm gonna go find my mom and my dad and my good old brother Doug. Why, I bet him and cousin Jackie are still cutting up a rug. I want to see all my mama's sisters because that's where all the love starts. I miss them all like crazy. Bless their little hearts. And I always will remember these words my daddy said. He said, buddy, when you're dead, you are seriously dead. Well, I hope to prove him wrong. That is, when I get to heaven. 'Cause then I'm gonna get a cocktail, vodka and ginger ale. Smoke a cigarette that's 9 miles long. Gonna kiss that pretty girl on the tilt-a-whirl. 'Cause this
old man is going to town.
Yeah,
This old man is going to town.
Thank you so much. Thank you for your kind attention.
Someone needs to put out the...
You got the thing, you know.
P.S. I love you. And all y'all. Go in peace. Go in joy. Remember some of the fun that we had today and spread it around. Amen. May it be so. In the good old summertime.